Hi, Professor Nunning. Okay, so I'm going to show you my sensory kit. So, sorry, I have the list over here of like my contradictions and precautions and stuff. So for my first activity, this is visual first. So for my first activity, I have a little puzzle, and I'm going to possibly have them like put the puzzle together. It's like a really, take it out of the bag and show you. It's like a very like soft puzzle. It's kind of harder on this side, so like this stay together. And it's got like numbers and like different things on them. It's like this one's got 2 cupcakes, this one's got 5 lollipops, I guess is what it is. So it goes, I think it goes all the way up to 10 or 9 maybe. No, it goes up to 9. So my contraindications for that would be that the patient may not be able to stay awake for the activity, or that the patient may not be able to reach for the puzzle pieces. And my precautions would be to just be sure that the patient like pay attention to them and like notice if they're getting sleepy, or like if they're getting like if they're reacting negatively to the activity at all. My second activity is these lettered alphabet blocks. And it's kind of like a simple activity. I would have them find A, B, and C and like put them in front of me, or just like find different letters. You know, it doesn't always have to be like A, B, and C. Like, I can tell them find the letter E and put it in front of me. My contraindications would be the patient may not be able to pick up and keep a hold of the blocks, or the patient may get confused on which letter is which. And my precautions would be sure to tell the patient what you are going to do before you do it, so that they don't like get freaked out or overwhelmed. And the patient may be slow to react, so make sure you explain the instructions slowly and clearly. Okay, and for my auditory stimulation, sorry, I have everything in front of me. Okay. My first one is a CD. Yes, it's my Taylor Swift CD. I would have them like listen to their favorite songs, and if possible, maybe like hum along to the beat of the music, or even if they can, sing the words. Contraindications would be the patient may only like certain songs from the CD, so you have to be careful like choosing the songs, I guess, because they may react negatively to certain songs. Another contraindication would be that the patient may not be able to hear the music properly. So my precautions for that would be to make sure that the volume on the music is just right. It shouldn't be too loud, and it shouldn't be like too soft, just like loud enough to where they can hear it. Another one would be aware of what kind of songs or music that they like or they don't like. And my next one would be this bell. I would ring the bell to like get them to like turn their head or look in a certain direction. Contraindications for that could be that the noise may irritate their ears, or that the patient may turn away from the bell and not participate in the activity that I'm doing because they don't like the sound. Precautions would be to be aware of the patient's reaction to the bell and to stop if it becomes overwhelming for them, and to make note of how high the pitch of the ringing of the bell is for the patient. Okay, my tactile or touch stimulation. So my first one is this Play-Doh here. I can't get it out, so I would put objects in the Play-Doh and like have the patient feel through the Play-Doh to find them. Contraindications would be that the patient may not like the feeling of the Play-Doh, or the patient may be resistant to playing with the Play-Doh. Some precautions would be the patient may try to eat the Play-Doh, so to be sure to keep an eye on them when they have it in their hands. So you don't want them to eat it. That's probably not a good idea. Another precaution would be the Play-Doh may get stuck underneath their fingernails, so just be sure to like clean off their hands and their fingers and underneath their fingernails when you're done playing with that. And then my next tactile one would be this little, I think it's like made to like wash a car, but I thought, what the heck? It's really, really soft. So just like run the fabric along their skin to stimulate the sense of like touch. It's like it's really, really soft. So I think that would feel kind of good. I don't know. It depends. Contraindications would be the patient may have some type of sensory problem and may not like the feeling of the soft fabric touching the skin, because I know everybody's different and like which like fabrics, you know, like that they like. Or the patient may not be able to tell you if they don't like the feeling of the fabric. Precautions would be to be sure to watch and see if they respond negatively to the touch of the fabric, and to make sure you start off with just a light touch and then maybe go to like a deeper touch. For my olfactory, I have a bottle of perfume. So like maybe you could like spray like their mother, grandma's, aunt's perfume to just like if they're most likely like in a hospital bed, so like just to make them feel like more at home. Contraindications for that would be that the patient may not like the smell of the perfume you use, so you have to be like super careful with that and like make sure you find out that information beforehand. Or the patient may be allergic to the type of perfume you use, or just all perfumes in general. So that would definitely be like a good thing to ask beforehand, like just to make sure they don't have any allergies or anything like that. Some precautions would be always make sure that the patient isn't allergic to the perfumes of any kind before you use something like that to simulate their sense of smell. And be sure to ask what sense of perfume the patient likes. And my second one for olfactory is these different like air freshener things. This one, I'm pretty sure this is like apple pie or apple cinnamon or something. This one's lavender, and this one's just like the smell of clean linen. Have the patient like smell the different air fresheners just to help bring like a little bit of home into their hospital room, because like maybe their mom likes baking apple pie all the time, or you know, they like the smell of lavender or fresh linens. I don't know, just to stimulate their senses a little bit. Some contraindications would be the patient may not like the smells that you use. So again, like with the perfume, you have to like be careful with that, because you like ask beforehand, like maybe like what kind of smells that they like, or what kind of smells they're used to like at home. Or the patient may become overwhelmed by the different smells that you use. So you have to be careful by that too. Like don't just like shove one smell at them and then take it away, and then shove another smell at them and take it away, and then shove another smell at them. Like take your time, like let them smell it for a little bit and then take it away, and then wait a second and then give them another one. Some precautions for this would be sure to ask the patient what smells they like best. For example, like I said, they might like the smell of apple pie because their grandma used to make it all the time, or something. And be sure to keep an eye out for if the patient becomes overwhelmed by the smells, different smells that you're using with them. For oral, I have this minty air freshener. It's like cinnamon, I think is what it says. Yeah. Just like use this as like a sweeter taste, I guess. So some contraindications for that would be the minty flavor may cause the patient to gag, or like just spraying this in their mouth might like overwhelm them. Or the patient may not like the flavor of the breath spray. So like again with the air fresheners or the perfume, you have to kind of ask what they like beforehand, just to make sure you don't get something that they're not gonna like. Some precautions would be to be sure that you only spray a little bit at a time. Don't like, spray multiple times, multiple like sprays at once. And to make sure that you give the patient enough time to swallow the spray if they can before you put any more in their mouth. And I am not at home right now, and I forgot my last activity in my fridge because it's lemon juice. So just imagine I have my lemon juice right here. So I would use like lemon juice to like put it on Q-tips. Like I definitely would not like pour it in their mouth like a drink or anything like that. God no. So I would like dip the Q-tips in it and use this as more like a sour taste. Like I use the breath spray as like a sweeter taste. So this would be my sour taste, and like put it on their tongue just to like give them the sense of like the sour taste and see if like they can tell like where I'm touching it on their tongue. Some contraindications would be the sourness of the lemon juice might make the patient's jaw muscles tighten up, because I know when I was little, I've eaten a lemon before. It makes my jaw muscles tense up. Or the patient may not like, or they may be very sensitive to sour flavors or like certain flavors like that. Some precautions would be to never put very much lemon juice on the Q-tip, and to always ask if the patient is allergic to anything like citrus, because again, like you don't want to use anything that they're allergic to. And last thing, I almost forgot about this. This is the container that I would put it in. It is plastic, so it's very, and I can like put it together and carry it like this, and everything fits in there. Everything fits in there pretty good. Oh, I just threw it go. Everything fits in there pretty good. So that's my sensor kit.